Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today we're going to be doing a cash envelope stuffing for the paycheck that I received on November 11th, 2021 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you all are interested in seeing that, please stick around. Okay, so we are nice and zoomed in on the cash envelope breakdown in the Budget by Paycheck Workbook. To start today's video, as usual, I wanted to give an update on my emergency fund. I do have a separate checking account at my bank which holds my emergency fund, but usually what I end up doing is at the end of every pay period, if I have any leftover cash from my eating out, gas, or miscellaneous envelopes, I will put it into this envelope, and it's a way for me to continue growing that emergency fund, but not actually having to budget specifically for it. So this pay period, I was only able to put in $4, or at the end of last pay period, I should say. So in here, we should have $327. So we'll count that together. 100, 200, 300, 320, 25, 26, 27. Alrighty, so that is the correct amount. I'm hoping to be able to save more from this pay period that we're just starting, that we're stuffing for, so that I can contribute a bit more to this in a couple of weeks. Now we're going to be focusing on my variable expense cash envelopes. I am using the same envelopes that I used in my last cash envelope stuffing video. These will be with me for the rest of the month, I think. I do have a pay period towards the end of November. I may be switching them right at that time for more of a Christmassy type envelope style. So first we're going to focus on eating out, and that is going to get its usual $50 in 2 20s and a $10 bill. As usual, I do have some 5s hidden down here. I just wanted to zoom in enough so that you could see this page, and because of that, you guys can't see all my cash. So I did update my envelopes. As you can see, the $4 I contributed to my emergency fund, did end up coming out of this eating out envelope. I did overspend in eating out this past pay period, but I had used my debit card for it. So I ended up with $4 here. Instead of transferring that to my debit card, I ended up just putting it in the emergency fund. So we are now putting $50 in here, and it will have $50 as it shows on the tracker. Now my next envelope is my gas envelope, and I usually will end up stuffing a single $50 bill into that envelope. I am not going to be doing that this pay period. I'm actually filming this on the 12th. I got paid on the 11th, and I went to the gas station yesterday before I was able to get to the bank, because I couldn't get to the bank until this morning. And so I ended up getting gas, use my debit card since the funds were already in there, and it came to $47. So I only have $3 left over. I didn't pull those $3 out to stick in here. Chances are, given with how insane gas prices are right now, that I might have to end up putting a little bit more gas in before the end of this pay period, and I'll just try to pull that from miscellaneous or use my cushion. But I didn't feel like it was worth it to pull the $3 to stuff into this envelope, so my gas envelope is going to remain empty. Lastly, we have my miscellaneous envelope, which gets $200, and I'm going to be pulling that in a single $100 bill, a $50 bill, 2 $20 bills, and a $10 bill. Now I always make sure to look at the 2021 savings challenges from the Budget Mom, and I make sure that the denominations that I have in my miscellaneous envelope allow me to pull for those challenges, because I do end up pulling them strictly from my miscellaneous envelope. I did do that, and so we will see me stuff that envelope towards the end of this video. So Let's just count this up really quick. 100, 150, 70, 190, 200. Perfect. So as you can see reflected on my tracker here, I do have this deposit for $200, but then I also have that I'm pulling out $30 for the 2021 savings challenges. Okay, now that that is stuffed, we're going to be moving on to my sinking funds. Now, I have all my sinking funds envelopes right here, and there is one difference in envelopes for my last cash envelope stuffing, but on top of that, I also wanted to make you all aware that my trackers are going to look a little funny. And the reason for that is because I went ahead and I basically documented what I'm going to be stuffing for the rest of the year, for the rest of 2021 into my sinking funds. The reason I did that is I wanted to get a look at where I was going to be at the end of December in every sinking fund that I have. Now, I'm stuffing these sinking funds. We're in 2021, but these are 4 things that are going to be coming up in 2022, which is why the envelopes all have 2022 listed on top. And so that's the reason why I went ahead and did that. I kind of want to know how much cash I'm going to be going into 2022 with and how much money I'll need to be saving in 2022 to end up reaching my goals for the envelopes that have goals. Some of them are just rolling. So I will, again, point that out, but my trackers are going to look a little funny. So my first sinking fund that we will be stuffing is my travel sinking fund. This is one of those rolling sinking funds, which is why this tracker on the front isn't actually filled out. I'm going to be pulling $50 out in a single $50 bill. Now, as you can see on the back, I have it tracked all the way through my last paycheck of December, but we're actually stuffing for 11/11, so we should end up with a total of $400 into this sinking fund. Let's count that now. We have 100, 200, 300, 350, 400. Perfect. I'm doing a video. I don't know if it's going to end up coming out in December or early January, but I am going to do a video about my 2022 sinking funds and going over how much I saved in 2021 for them, and so what I'm heading into 2022 with, how much I'll need to save in 2022. So there was definitely a reason for me to kind of go ahead and do that. So for Christmas, we're going to be saving, pulling $25, and we're going to do that in a $20 bill and a $5 bill. I can never keep these cash amounts straight. Okay, and so again, the tracker is fully filled out on the back through the end of December, but we are at 11/11, and so we should end up with a total of $200 in this envelope. So let's count all of that up. We have 50, 100, 120, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 200. Perfect. So $200 already saved for Christmas, which is very exciting, out of my goal of $700. Very, very cool. That means we only have $500 left to save. Alrighty, next is subscriptions, and that's going to be getting $15 in a $10 bill, my last 10 and my last 5. Okay, so let's pull these down a little bit. And I am going to be adding in for 11/11, so we should have a total of $110 in this envelope once I stuff this. Let's count that all up together. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, 6, 7, 8, 9, 110. Perfect. Now, I think it was my last cash envelope stuffing that I was talking about how exciting it is to be saving for 2022 already, and how on some of these envelopes, you know, subscriptions of which is one, I'm like almost halfway to my goal. One thing I realized for subscriptions specifically is that my goal was actually not accurate anymore. So when I made this envelope and I filled out the tracker on the front, I was intending on saving $220 for subscriptions, and that was going to cover my Amazon Prime and my Disney Plus, both of which I pay annually. Back in July, I think it was July or August, I ended up deciding to pay Hulu annually as well, and so that changed my goal, right? And so instead of needing to save $220, I do need to save $285. Now, that change of adding in Hulu was already reflected in what I'd been saving every pay period. Initially, I was only saving $10 every pay period, but with the addition of Hulu, I'm saving $15. So I have been appropriately saving to reach my goal in time. It's just I hadn't updated the actual goal amount. So instead of $220, we do have to reach $285. I'm not going to print a new envelope to redo the front here, so it'll be filled in before we actually reach our goal, but that's okay. Next, we have my medical envelope. This always gets $20 in a single $20 bill. And though the tracker is fully filled in until the end of the year, we are focusing on 11/11, and so we should end up with $160 in this envelope. And we are going to count that up: 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 160. Perfect. Yay. Okay, now next we have my car maintenance envelope. This is another rolling sinking fund, meaning there's no actual goal amount, and so that's why this tracker on the front isn't filled out. I had in here money for car maintenance, but I also had money that I was saving for my car insurance and my car taxes, both of which I pay annually and I pay in July. I had decided a few months back that I do want to separate those two envelopes and have a car maintenance envelope and then a separate envelope for insurance and taxes, because I want it to be easier for me to glance at this envelope and know exactly how much money is saved in there specific for car maintenance. My car is a little older. It's 7 years old. It, I'm sure, is going to start needing more maintenance. And the last thing I want to do is basically spend from this envelope and overspend what's actually in here for car maintenance. And then come July 2022, not have enough cash saved up to pay my insurance and my taxes. So I was planning on separating this envelope into two separate envelopes in January, but I had some, I found some motivation since last pay period and decided to just do it now. So what is currently in here is just car maintenance, okay? And I know it's going to look very confusing because of the tracker situation, but basically what I did is on 11/7, I made a new envelope for insurance and taxes. And so I withdrew $490 from this envelope and put that in a separate envelope because that's what I have saved so far for my car insurance and my car taxes. That means that left in this envelope for car maintenance was $737, but this pay period we are putting in $50, which is what I always put in every pay period for car maintenance specifically. So in this envelope with this deposit, we should have $787. I'm going to pull that $50 bill. It's a single $50 bill that I'm pulling, and we will count this up to make sure that we do have the $787. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700, 750, 770, 780, 85, 86, 787. Perfect. So that's really exciting. It's just exciting to see that even with all of the cash I have saved up for my insurance and taxes, I still have $787 for car maintenance. I have almost $800 saved for car maintenance. And actually, if we look ahead, by the end of the year, I'm going to have almost $800, over $900, close to $1,000 saved. So that's really, really exciting. So next we are going to be seeing my new cash envelope, the cash envelope I have for car insurance and taxes. It's the same design as my car maintenance envelope, but I am able to fill out the tracker on the front because I do have a goal for this, and that goal is $1,520. That's going to cover my car insurance for an entire year, my car taxes for an entire year. And again, that's due in July 2022. As you can see, I have that deposit of $490 that I made on the 7th, and then we are going to be putting in $70 today, so that's going to equal out to $560. And I haven't updated the tracker on the front yet, but once after this cash envelope stuffing, I'll be able to color in 4 different spaces here, which is really cool. So let's put in $70. That's going to be in a 50 and a 20. So it's my last $50 bill and a 20. And again, that should put us at $560. All right, we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 450, 470, 490, 510, 530, 550, 560. Perfect. And again, like, that's awesome because that's a third of the way to my goal, which is very, very cool. So next, we are going to be filling up, I should say, my birthday cash envelope. That's going to be getting $20 in a single $20 bill, which we have here. With this deposit, so we're looking at 1111, I should end up with $160. And so 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. Perfect. This is one of those ones that I'm like super excited about. You know, I like to have this money saved by, I think the goal is by May, because the first birthday that I purchased for in 2022 is in June. And so I want to have this saved by May, but, you know, again, because I did what I did with the trackers, like by my last paycheck in December, I'm going to be already more than halfway to my goal because my goal is $400 and I will have hit 220. So that's really, really cool. And then lastly, we have my holidays envelope. This is also going to be getting $20 in a single $20 bill. And it should have the same amount as the last one. So with this deposit, it's going to have $160 in there. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 160. Very cool. We're already more than halfway to saving for this goal because it's a goal of $300. Again, the reason why we're over halfway to saving to this goal is because part of what I want to be using it for is Mother's Day and Father's Day. Mother's Day is in May, so I want to make sure I'm heading into May being fully stuffed and having reached my goals. So we're making a ton of awesome progress on that one. So the last thing that we're going to do is stuff my November envelope for the 2021 Savings Challenge. I did fill the tracker out for the rest of the month, but with this paycheck, we're only going to be stuffing $15 for the 15th and then $15 for the 22nd of November. This last line where it shows the 29th, that's going to be coming out of my next pay period. So I'm going to be using cash from my miscellaneous envelope. And again, I've already marked that on my tracker. I need $30. And so I'm just going to take that out in a 20 and a 10. That means that we should have $170 left in this cash envelope, 100, 150, 170. So I'm going to put that back in there and put that to the side. And then with this $30 added in, we should have a total of $55 in the November envelope. So oops, okay, no, that's fine. Let's put that together and I'm going to count this up. We have 20, 40, 50, 55. So that is accurate. I'm going to put that cash back in the envelope. And then we are all set. We are done stuffing for the paycheck that I received on November 11th, 2021. I hope that you all enjoyed this cash envelope stuffing. You will see me back in a few days with a plan with me, and then in a couple of weeks for my next budget with me, cash envelope stuffing, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to put them down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.